All right, welcome back everybody to another new episode of A Whole New World with me, your host, Jacob New. And we're here to develop that positive mindset and bring positive things, or let you guys know about positive things happening in the community. As always, we're going to start every episode with a dad joke. So, guys, get ready. Get those groans ready, those laughters. And so, what was the bald sea captain worried about? Capsizes.
That's actually pretty good.
Cat jokes. I like those. So, thank you guys for tuning in today. We have Mr. Ryan Whitehead and Miss Jessica Kuyawa. Oh, I just said it too. No, I'm not going to give it up.
Kuyawa.
It's confusing because the W and the Y. I'm like, wait, Kuyawa.
Exactly.
Kuyawa. I even said, I was like, it's like Kumbaya, but not. So, but yes. So, thank you guys for being a guest on the show. And can you all go ahead and I'll let you guys introduce yourselves and just tell us just a brief little bit about you, like where you're from.
All right. Well, thanks for having us on, Jacob. We are documentary filmmakers. We're currently producing a feature-length documentary about a rock and roll club here in Dallas. It's the Curtain Club is the name of the club, and for 21 years has been a staple for local music, for live music, and if you were coming down to see a concert, come hear your favorite local bands or nationally touring bands, the Curtain Club was one of those places that you're very likely to have gone to. Mm-hmm.
What kind of music would they normally have?
A lot of it was kind of independent rock, or indie rock, or alternative rock.
Okay.
There's some heavy metal. There was some toward the end. They started kind of dabbling with hip hop and a little bit of rap thrown in there occasionally that change it up. But mostly known as a alternative rock club. During the recession, Deep Ellum got a little bit rough for a while, and a lot of the clubs in the area closed the doors and shut down. And the Curtain Club was one of the few that didn't. And they were one of the longest running clubs of Deep Ellum. With a lot of the other clubs this size in Deep Ellum, they would cater to nationally touring bands. The Curtain Club always catered more toward the local independent band. If you had a band with your friends and you could sell the tickets, you could play that stage. You didn't have to necessarily be picked up by a nationally touring act coming through. So it was always a really special place for a lot of people, and it really shaped the lives and careers of a lot of bands and musicians here in Deep Ellum.
Can you give us like just a couple names of some bands that people might know? Sure.
I think some of the biggest names to come out of there were, Drowning Pool is one of them. They had a song called Bodies. They were kind of a heavy metal.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah. With a name like Drowning Pool, I would expect heavy metal.
Exactly. Also, Bowling for Soup. They had a song called 1985, kind of that power pop.
Bowling for Soup, that's my jam.
Yeah.
The Nixons.
Yeah. The Nixons were one of them. And then there's a whole bunch more that I'm not thinking of right now that a lot of people would know. Tripping Daisy, I guess, is another one. Anyway, those are just some of the more well-known bands. There are thousands.
One too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about them.
Yeah.
Thousands of bands over the years have graced the stage. So it's meant a lot to a lot of people. Last year they were bought out by a development company, and sadly, this year they shut their doors for the final time, June 30th.
Oh man.
So
that's it. And so, what led you to do the documentary? I was going to say, what led you to do the curtains? I was like, that doesn't sound right. No, that's not the right words. But yes, what brought you into the documentary?
The documentary. Well, we've both been in Deep Ellum for a long time. I started as a concert photographer shooting shows down there, and then I branched off into video production, did music videos, and filmed a lot of bands and worked with a lot of bands there. So I'm very familiar with the scene. and have a lot of friends that have bands and play music down there. And Jessica is a rock journalist, and she's covered shows down there frequently, and we kind of have a lot of connections. And so when it closed down, we were talking about it and thinking, it's really sad that this place is closing. There are a lot of people that are not going to get to experience that. We need to document it so that people can find out about the club and hear the stories. There have been a lot of clubs over the years that have closed, but a lot of them haven't been documented. So it's just a bunch of people saying, basically, oh yeah, well, we used to have this club, they were great. Well, we hope...
What made them great?
Exactly. Exactly. We're hoping to capture the story so that future generations can hear it, and we believe wholeheartedly that storytelling is an incredibly powerful and positive thing. And so we want to share the story of the Curtain Club and the rest of the clubs that we've lost over the years.
Yeah.
Have anything to
I
add?
mean, telling the story but closing it just helps it live on, because everybody was pretty heartbroken about it. There was a lot of tears that last night, and so there's just been a lot of support to do this. Everybody wants to see it made because it was such a special place for everybody. Many people met there, became friends there.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's all like a place of just community. I mean, as
like
I would imagine a lot of venues are, but I mean, this one in particular seems to have, a bit of nostalgia that kind of goes with it as well. Absolutely.
And speaking about that, we were talking with the owner. He sat down for an interview with us, which was a great interview. Doug Simmons. He's a really good guy. He's ran the club for years and for the whole time, I guess, since he started. But that was one of the things that he mentioned, as well as most of the other people we've interviewed so far, is talking about how the thing that made the Curtain Club so special was that it was more than just a club. It was a family. It was a home, and it was a community. And if the bands weren't playing a show that night, they would normally come out and support their other friends' bands. And you would see somewhere between 20 and 30% of the crowd were in other bands in the scene. So it was just a big family. You're always out there. And
bands supporting bands.
Exactly.
I like that.
But the other thing is when these places close, what do we lose when they close? Because to play at like Trees or Bomb Factory, they'd have to get picked up by like a big national band coming through. The independent local bands would. Whereas the Curtain Club would let them headline their shows, So which they wouldn't get to do at like Trees or Bomb Factory necessarily.
Almost would give in like the little guy the step up.
Exactly.
So they could be recognized and
so where do they go after that? When it closes, I mean,
we'll find a place.
That's a great question.
Always have to get creative, and that's the thing is people will always want to play music, and people will always want to come out and play music. So we just have to find out where the new place is going to be, I guess.
I mean, it might just be like the Blinds Club. Curtain blinds.
The mini
I'd try and sneak another one in there, guys. I know that was bad. That was bad. Everybody's like, oh. Yeah.
I like that.
So, what is... Wow, words right now.
No worries. We've all been up for a while today.
Yeah, I've been up since 4 a.m. today, guys. So, but one thing I did want to ask you, so you're getting to interview all these people, right? So what has been one of your favorite interviews that you guys have done?
Ooh.
That is a challenging one. One of the cool things about making this film is the ability to make friends and be a part of this community. When we were young, we were listening to a lot of the bands that we're now friends with, essentially, and talking with these people and hanging out with them and sending text messages during the day to do that. Never thought would have a chance to be in this scene. So it's a lot of fun doing that, and talking with some of these people has been really great. One of the standout ones would probably be an interview with the lead singer of Drowning Pool named Jason Moreno, and a guy named Adam Nunez, a really, really talented guitar player here in Dallas, and he's got the Adam Nunez band, and they've been in bands together since the early '90s, since Deep Ellum really started blossoming.
Yeah.
And they sat down with us, and it was just a great time hearing some of the stories that they had over the years, and they're both fantastic guys, as is really everybody we've talked to, which makes that question all the more difficult, because...
We're going to get so much crap from everybody for that.
What about mine? No, but we've had great ones. Doug had a really phenomenal interview, the owner of the club.
Yeah.
Talked a lot about some
deep
of
moments with him.
Yeah, exactly. And boy, who else have we done?
Did you guys get to interview Bowling for Soup?
We have not yet, but we have a connection.
We're in the works for that.
Oh, okay.
So, speaking of which, Jarrett, if you're listening, give me a call, buddy. Yeah. But it's really hard to narrow it down. You know, there's been quite a few, and we still have probably at least 20 or so yet to film that are all kind of scheduled out over the next little while. So this answer could possibly change over the next few weeks.
Okay, I like it. So how much longer until you guys want your documentary will be released?
Oof.
Do you have like a set date?
We do. We have a goal.
Okay.
We are trying to meet the goal of 1 year.
Okay.
Since it closed, right.
So
we're
June
looking at
30th, 2020.
2020, exactly. Okay. That is a very optimistic goal.
Okay.
If you've ever watched any behind the scenes with a lot of documentaries, there's an amazing documentary filmmaker named Ken Burns. A lot of people know him. He's been all over PBS for years, has some amazing documentaries and series, and generally his documentaries can take anywhere from a year to 5, 6, or more. So trying to do it, we're being very optimistic about it, but we're giving ourselves that positive, this is our goal, let's see what we can do to make it, and I think we can do it.
I mean, I like that, because you got to like set your expectations high, you know, because there's that whole idea of like what you're telling yourself, that's eventually what's going to come into fruition, because you're hearing that, or like it's that whole expecting the best and getting it. You know,
absolutely, fully believe that.
I mean, you got to give yourself some like realistic leeway too, like, okay, this took 5 years, but I'm gonna go for this, and so maybe you get it in 2, maybe you get it in 1,
or maybe we get it on the anniversary of the first concert they played, New Year's Eve.
Sure,
because they opened their doors New Year's Eve 1997. So if we don't make the year that they closed, maybe we can make New Year's Eve for it.
Yeah, definitely.
Anniversary type thing.
We have some amazing footage of a lot of events that we're going through, and there's still a lot to be done. We still have the editing process to go through. We still have numerous interviews to conduct. A lot of people don't know the full scope of what goes into making a film, and once it gets filmed and it starts getting edited, there is what we call color grading, which is putting the color on it. You have to edit it together into a cohesive story. There are the motion graphics and the visual aids to help tell the story, and those have to be created, and a number of things. So it's a lot of work, but it's also really exciting and fun to be able to build something, you know, to create something and tell the story and create art is just a very exciting, fun experience.
Well, to give everybody a comparison of filming something like that, it's kind of like an iceberg. You know, the filming's that very top little part you see, then everything else is underneath it.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the credits for Avengers, and they're long. It's incredible. Like
8 different production houses just for the visual graphics of one scene.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay. So, but yeah, I just remember sitting there watching it, because you got to see the end credits. You know, like but. So my hat's off to y'all for going off after that, and because you don't have any other background in documentaries, right?
This is our first official feature-length documentary. We have similar backgrounds to it, or backgrounds that play into it very well. I've owned a video production company since 2012.
Okay.
Doing that full time since about 2016. when I left my full-time job working at an aviation company to follow my dreams and passions and to really give it a go. And so I've been doing a lot of corporate videos and music videos and event work and a lot of video production stuff. So the producing of a film or a project is certainly something that I have a lot of experience with.
Okay.
But this is definitely the largest scale,
right? Yeah.
Exactly. Doing a music video, which you're looking for an edit of about 2 to 3 minutes,
mm-hmm.
and then when you're talking about cutting together a story that lasts an hour and a half, it's the biggest thing. Yeah,
it's just a whole bunch of little 2 to 3 minute segments. I mean, you just do it that way.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
So-
but it's also incredibly exciting and slightly terrifying at times. You say, all right, well, what do we need to get done today? Wow, that's a big list. But at the same time, you're getting up every morning excited to find out what the day holds, and you've got an interview with somebody lined up for later in the day, and you can't wait to get out of bed so that you can get to that, so you can put the next piece of the puzzle together, and it's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, no, I love it. So we're going to take a quick break, everybody. So we'll be right back. This is A Whole New World. Y'all enjoy la música. All right. Welcome back, everybody, to A Whole New World with me, your host, Jake Manu, and our special guests, Ryan Whitehead and Jessica Kuyawa.
Good job.
I crushed it! The crowd goes wild. It only took me, 20 times? But I got it.
Something like that. Hey, you got it.
Those 3.
Hey, a victory's a victory.
Exactly.
So before we left for the break, you were leading into the fact that you were working for the aviation
mm-hmm.
company, and then you was it a leap of faith, or you just kind of you left that? So what led you to leave that?
Well, it's hard. Excuse me. It's a long story. Basically, worked there for 7-8 years almost, and that job gave me some amazing opportunities and taught me a lot, and I really appreciate everything that it did. And as I was working there, I started the photography company back then, before it was video, and it found a love for it. So I ended up testing the water, seeing if I could make a little bit of side cash for it, do that, and it got to the point where I was essentially up working events till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 or 3 times a week, and getting up the next morning and being at work at 8 o'clock in the morning again.
Wow!
And it was crazy. I kept telling myself I can sleep when I'm old, but at the same time,
you get older faster. That way.
Exactly, it speeds up the
30
process.
now?
Yeah, exactly. So, I built the video production company off of that. I thought to myself, I love photos, but this new thing of video production, I can make movies. This is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
So I got kind of hooked on that and started transitioning a little bit away from the photography to the video, and which is a lot more work. So as I was doing that, I was realizing that I was working a lot, and I got to the point where I thought maybe I could actually make a go of this, and realized that it was truly my passion. Anytime that I wasn't physically working on a project with the aviation company, I'd go to lunch and I'd be doing stuff. I'd be editing photos or something on my lunch break, or I couldn't wait to get back to working on this thing. And I said, man, this is really what I want to be doing. I want to have a life where I can make art, I can make films, I can do this. So I said, all right, well, let's give it a try. We hired somebody to fill my shoes and train them, and got everything set up with the company, and took a little bit of a leap of faith and trust yourself to achieve your goals. And I do not regret it at all. It's been great. I've had successes, I've had failures. There are so many challenges that you never really foresee. With it, owning your own company is, there's the whole entrepreneurship side of things that a lot of people don't know or even want to know, honestly. So you got that, and then you're trying to create art, and you're trying to balance all these things, but at the same time, having that freedom to chart your own path and to go after your goals and dreams and create something is very exciting. So that's kind of what put me on that path. And
have you always been in journalism, or? No,
actually. So I originally, since I was like 5, thought I wanted to be a vet. And I kind of still do. It's kind of on hold, kind of more of a...
Might come back to it.
Exactly. Okay. So, but, I'm in college. I have a bachelor's degree in animal science, but I'm in the middle of college, but still coming back up here to go to concerts. When I say back up here, I went to A&M. Whoop.
Okay.
So, but I come up here...
Boomer Sooner.
Easy now. But I'd come back up to Dallas frequently to go to concerts. I'm a metalhead. I love concerts. So I did that. And at one of the shows, I can't remember which one, but I met a guy named Jerry Hayes who does Renegade Radio online. So he asked me if I wanted to start interviewing people for him. People as in rock stars, which I would later find out. So I said, sure, I'll give it a try. I've never tried it, never thought about doing that. And so we started interviewing rock stars, and I became addicted, because these are the people that I grew up, loving their music, admiring them, but never thought I'd get to talk to them, have a conversation with them, really get to know them. So I started doing that and got really into it. And then we actually met at the Curtain Club.
Okay. So, I was going to say, when did the super team happen?
So we met at the Curtain Club almost 3 years ago now. And he kind of got me into photography. And then through him, I met Damien, who does Amps and Green Screens online, who then I started doing album reviews for and concert reviews for, and then started learning photography, and then just recently started teaching me all the video side of things. So kind of a very skewed path, because this isn't, it's not what I went to college for at all.
Life's only a straight and narrow path, though.
Oh, totally, right? This is like the very wooded, tiny path, and I'm like, ooh, what's down there? So, but I love it. I'm addicted to it. It's fun, too, No,
I love it, and I think anybody listening, I can clearly see that you'll both have a passion for what you're doing, and I want to thank you for that too, because a big part of being in a community is that storytelling and sharing stories, because we have our own stories, and so it makes things more relatable when you have other stories to go off of, and you hear other people's stories. It lets us, in my opinion, know that we're not alone, and I always got to work on positive things into this podcast. So, I think when you have that sense of community, and you start developing that kind of connection with other people, your surroundings, your community, you just feel better. You're happier because you're not alone, and that's one of the reasons why I like the story about the Curtain Club too, is because I feel like that's what it was doing for so many people, is bringing people together. And then you guys are continuing that by documenting.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yes. Preserving the stories.
Yeah, I love it. And so future generations, they can come on and be like, maybe we get a Curtain Club dose.
Yeah, exactly. Inspire somebody else to do something like that, to start a club. And
it's something similar for people that aren't picked up by big labels or what have you. Those garage band phenoms.
Exactly. Exactly. There is a lot of talent here in Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
And everywhere else, I'm sure, as well. I'm a little partial to Dallas because, well, that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Go Dallas. But, excuse me, got a little close there. But there is a lot of talent, a lot of untapped talent, too, because that's one of the greatest things about the age that we live in is, back 20, 30 years ago, or even less than, I suppose, it was really hard to get out to an audience. You really had to either be picked up by a label or be really creative and do it yourself. And now...
MySpace.
Exactly. And now being able to get out to such a large audience is really great opportunity for a lot of these bands. And there is some amazing, amazing music being created right now.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm so excited to live in a time where I can find all of this stuff so easily, discover new things, and listen to radio shows and podcasts, and share the stories and listen to these new music and discover new bands. And it's a great time.
Yeah, it's definitely an age of creation. I like it. So one more thing I want to talk about a little bit is y'all had mentioned you start off every day and you're excited for the day. I think that's also important too, because you expect good things, right? You start off, you're like, today's gonna be the worst day ever. I think of that, what was it, the horrible, terrible, no good, very bad day book.
Yeah.
I can't remember who wrote it, but you wake up and you're expecting your day up until whatever that bad thing is happening, but it sounds like you start off and you're excited for the day. So what tips or advice might you give to the people who are waking up and they're like, today is gonna suck, but how could they start changing it? How could they start finding that excitement, that joy that y'all have?
Yeah, absolutely.
For me, you on the spot.
No, it's all right. No, this is good. I just didn't want to, if you were about to launch into something, I didn't want to.
I'm thinking.
But everybody talk at once, right? For me, it has to do a lot with focus, because during every day, there's going to be good and bad things. There are events during the day or during the week that can easily drag you down, and what always worked for me on those days that it was a struggle or I was having a challenging shoot or something wasn't going right is trying to focus my attention on the things that were going right. Look at all of the positives that are happening. You wake up in the morning and there's a lot to do. So rather than dwell on I got all of these things and this is going wrong, think about the things that are going right, Okay, so there's challenges, but these are all the great things that are happening, and I want to get into this because I want to see the next step, and I want to follow these things, and where you can focus your attention really seems to make a difference, to me at least. Focusing on the positive.
Well, that and, what are you doing with your life? Are you happy doing what you're doing, for the majority of your life, or are you stuck in a job that you hate that makes you unhappy? Because if you are, then change it. Find what you want to do.
Yeah.
Be happy doing what you're doing. Wake up being excited to go to work or go do whatever it is you do.
Yeah. That's actually a really good point. I'm glad you brought that up.
They say, if you are doing what you love for a job, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
It's true.
And you can always... Yeah. And I had something really good, and then I just
I was like
disappeared. Where did I go?
Go catch it.
It's going to come back here in just a second, I think.
Yeah. It's floating around.
Yeah.
So, I like both of those. Go on.
No, going back to the whole doing what you love and stuff. Also, making progress towards something. Setting little goals. That's the other thing. If you happen to be at a job where you're not happy, start giving yourself little goals to get to that next point.
Yeah.
I feel like if I'm working towards something, I'm generally happier than if I feel like I'm just floating in place. So, if you... I'm sorry, I can say.
No, yeah. No, it's like you're giving yourself purpose.
Exactly. When I know that I'm frustrated with something and I have to get this video done and I'm at the beginning of this project and I got to get it delivered, giving myself little goals like, okay, today I'm going to get through the interviews of it, and this next part I'm going to get through this. Or, talking about like with a job, if you want to be a writer, for example, a freelance writer or a novelist or whatever, you're not going to have all day to do it because you gotta make a living.
Yeah.
I'll understand that. But if you can put an hour aside each day to work towards something, or if you say, all right, I want to write this much of the book so that I can send it off to the publishers or whatever, you can give yourself little goals, and as you're working through those goals, you end up building momentum.
Yeah.
And so little goals, I think, help too.
And before you know it, you've accomplished so many little goals that it's like, oh, I got to my big goal.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, the only other thing I was going to say is I enjoyed hearing y'all's aspects of, like, starting the day off, and you talked about having a big list of things to do, and just kind of focusing, I want to get through this so I can get to see what's going to happen next. In my mind, I think of it as like, wow, look how capable I am. Look at all this stuff I can do today. And it's a challenge to see like how much I can get done. And so, but everybody's going to find their own way, and like, so that's what I like about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before we go, for people out there who are looking to get more information on the Curtain Club and the documentary, where can we send them?
Ah, wonderful. Yes. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
We have a website called www.whenthecurtaincloses.com.
Okay.
Simple there. You can also go to our Facebook page. It's also When the Curtain Closes.
Okay.
We also have a hashtag, although we're just learning about those, or the pound sign, as a lot of us know it by.
I still call it the pound sign.
Yeah.
It's a dang pound sign.
The Curtain Club Film. Hashtag the Curtain Club Film.
Hashtag.
We'll do some of that. And quick mention, we are running an Indiegogo campaign right now to help cover some of the production costs, because although we're a small outfit, we have a small team, and we're doing everything to make this film, there are still a lot of costs involved.
You got to pay for those credits.
Exactly. Yeah. You got the team, you've got the photos and the video and the archival footage and all types of things, and marketing and distribution and other things. But we're still trying to keep the budget as low as possible because we want to make the film. That's the thing, is we're going to make the film.
Yeah.
But any support really does help us out, and so if you would check out the Indiegogo campaign, we would really appreciate it. And see, we just released our limited edition gold record T-shirt design, only available through the Indiegogo campaign, which is kind of fun. We posted that the other day, and have a number of other perks, and
if you contribute to it, you'll get a streaming link to see it, because anybody that contribits to the film should be able to see it. You want to see what you help create, right?
Yeah, exactly. And get involved. We would love to hear from everybody. If you come on and send us a message about your experience at the Curtain Club, or even in Deep Ellum at large, we want to tell the story right, and we want to include as many experiences as possible. And anybody who talks about it is really appreciated too. The more people who know about it, the better.
Oh yeah.
So please check it out.
Yeah.
Take a look. Either one. And share it and talk about it and get in touch. You can message us directly through Facebook. You can email us. You can call us. We've got numerous ways of getting in touch. So we'd love to hear from everybody.
Excellent. And thank you so much. So we'll be sure to add those to the show notes. So don't forget to look and click and take you there. So help support the Curtain Club when the curtain closes.
When the curtain closes. Would it be too cheeky if I put this in front of the camera?
Go for it. Cover my face.
You're shaking it.
There. Trying to hold still.
I think if you put on.
And then I can
Drop
throw
it.
it too.
So we are sharing his card on the Facebook Live for you guys who can't see that right now. So that is currently what is going on. But for those of you who are listening, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I do like to ask for a favor. Can you guys please help us share the positivity? Help us just share with your friends, your neighbors, your aunts, your uncles, your dogs, anybody. Click that little share button and follow, please. So we want to spread the positivity and reach as many people as possible.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's free. So,
Jacob, thank you for having us on. We really appreciate the opportunity to talk with you.
No, it's my pleasure to have you guys on. So thank you guys for being a guest.
And we appreciate what you're doing, too. We really enjoy the show.
100%. So thanks. And everybody out there, this is... thanks again for tuning in, and we, as always, if you only learn to do one thing, learn to make a difference. Y'all have a good night.